mostly Russian team.
Yeah. Usually, a lot of the Russian players tend to be closer to that Moscow area. That's sort of like right around Ukraine. That's just like that central hub.
They
of
are
like
called
huge
Moscow
Dota folks.
5, you know?
Oh yeah, that's a good point, gods. Oh, didn't even really think about that. But you're right.
No, me neither.
All right, so guys, coming into the final game of the evening or middle of the night, depending on where you are in the world, Moscow 5 versus mYi, the game 3 of this best of 3, the decider for this grand finals. Winner gets €2,000, second place $750, but more importantly, first place gets a seat out of 8 teams in the Esportal Grand Finals, the big event where most of the money's at. It'll be Screen on the Night Stalker. He'll be on the 4, and Necroman will be headed mid on the Troll Warlord, Slander on the Jakiro, PGG on the Witch Doctor again, and ZXC here on the Morphling. It's going to be playing the 1.
For the Dire side, we're going to have in the offlane GG on the Axe from mYinsanity. It's going to be Mitch playing the Skywrath Mage. In mid lane, it's going to be Milan on the Shadow Fiend. Vengeful Spirit being played by Lizard. And finally, Cole on the Ember Spirit going to the safe lane.
All right, safe lane Ember Spirit. Probably the right way for mYi to set up these lanes, I think, based on what they've drafted. Dire, still a question mark, but aggro try with a Morphling.
Yeah.
That alone is rare.
That's why I'm surprised by this Morphling last pick. I thought they'd get like a mid hero and do the Troll aggro tri lane. I feel like is a much stronger hero to have.
Well, here we go. Initiation up at the top rune. They want this bounty. Cole gets hit first. Bounty goes away to the Night Stalker. PGG stunned up. Cole, he'll fall. It's ZXC that gets the first blood. It will be at least a 1-for-1 as PGG goes down to the Arcane Bolt. But Mitch on the run. They'll have another Void coming up soon. He eats the Clarity. About 5 mana short. Waveform forward. And Screen will get it. A 2-for-1 as Moscow 5 come out way ahead.
Has a stun.
Ooh, ZXC, he's going to get punished again. Milan comes in. He's got a couple auto attacks, but no souls. Even Necroman flying over. That'll make it a 2-for-2, but now Lizard's left behind. Moscow 5, can they actually get the edge?
Boots. He's got him, surely. He may have to chase a long way. I don't know if he's willing to chase that far.
He's got a Void and about 20 mana, and in comes Mitch. He's going to push him back. Lizard says,
too much.
Thank you, sir. And Screen, he'll be okay.
ZXC... Ultimately, I don't think it matters too much that he died because he gets the full HP and mana for the lane. So he's a TP up lane, but he doesn't miss any farm, and he's full HP. If he doesn't die there, if he survives on 50 HP, he has to walk back to base and then TP. So either way, he has to buy the TP. Dying is just like a quicker way of healing up, so he doesn't actually miss any CS. So I think for the Morphling, it actually doesn't matter he dies, but it does give a little gold boost for mYinsanity.
Yeah, so a pretty even trade off of that, but Morphling going pretty well. Okay, so the other lanes, it will be Slander solo safe lane Jakiro against the Axe. Kind of an interesting matchup here. Axe should be able to get a decent bit of farm. Jakiro shouldn't have too much trouble. I don't know. Kind of an odd matchup. Axe very good against the melee heroes. Jakiro not the longest range, so it is not easy for him.
Jakiro's already chewed through all his tangos, so not fun for him.
Has a salve still. So, all right, and then the mid matchup. Uh-oh, that's a bash on a Milan. Necroman gets a solo kill mid lane. Moscow 5 came to play here in Game 3.
What is this?
That's
2
a big
points
kill.
in the Berserker's Rage. What a crazy build we're seeing coming out of the Troll. Normally you're looking at leveling up the Whirling Axes and getting like a point in fervor even early on.
Wow. Well, the atypical build maybe catching the Shadow Fiend off guard. Not ready for that slightly longer bash duration. Also just getting pretty lucky. You got a bash when Shadow Fiend was like 2 hits from death. So, yeah.
I mean, if you hit him enough, eventually that bash will come, even when it's level 1. Like that's... I guess kind of how it's going to work here. As he gets his bottle out, so he's going to be looking for that 2-minute rune. There's a bounty rune waiting from up top. Necroman at mid. Fantastic start.
Yeah, so Milan gets knocked down. For the Shadow Fiend, of all the times to die, that's kind of the time to do it. You don't have that much momentum. Necromastery isn't at that huge number where you're kind of crippled coming back to life. So still recoverable. Even farm there in the mid, but yeah, nice for the Troll.
Just going in, looking for another bash. Not going to find it. It's good
does
poke. You hit a bash and no one TPs, you get a kill, but
he forces a TP though, and now that's a 3v2 up top.
Yeah.
This could be an opening to try and man up onto Cole.
Screen one's up, gets his mana. He's got almost enough mana for a double Void. If they go in, they'll be spells cast, so he'll get the Magic 6, so he should have a double Void up top, and Skywrath completely caught out.
And here we go. Searing Chains on 2, but it's only level 1. The Cask not going to find that second bounce, but I don't think they need it. Morphling waveforms forward, gets that one last auto attack. Makes it 4-2 as Moscow 5 pulling the lead by about 1,500 gold already.
Yeah, they're not CSing too well in these lanes. So again, it's a case where they're getting these kills, but The kills will give him a bit of a lead, but the CS in most of these lanes is favoring.
I mean, look at Axe. He's just cutting this bottom lane. Slender forced to auto attack under the tower. Difficult for the Jakiro with only 8 CS, and GG with 25 already. The last hit leader by a huge margin.
This could even be a dead Jakiro with 2 points in Battle Hunger. This is really tough for him.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming his way, and now the Dire Creep's just moving into the tower.
So slow, the Jakiro gets his boots. Those boots, courier delivery, or maybe just saved his life.
Quite possibly. GG just going to keep pulling creeps. Ooh, misses the Berserker's call. If that had connected, pretty good chance Slander would have been in a sticky wicket.
Yeah. Tangos and boots here is the salvation package.
Yeah. Hunger Games style just coming out of the air. So Mitch takes over the mid lane for now to absorb some XP while Milan forced back to the well once more. Him and the Troll about even on CS. Necroman controlling the runes finds a double damage. Up top, the Ember Spirit not really getting great farm. Cole struggling a bit against this aggro try. Only 11 CS compared to the 15 of the Morph.
Yeah, he's got at least decent-ish levels here. Level 2 Flame Guard, so they need 200 magic damage to burst down. That's always the other, like in a Trial and Burst Trial with an Ember Spirit, you want to make sure you have the magic damage. If you can get rid of the Flame Guard right off the bat, mYinsanity can't really fight you. And with the Waveform as well as the Void, they should be able to do that.
Screen going behind the tower, just right onto Lizard. This is when the nighttime hits and the Night Stalker can strike. Waveform forward, gets the kill on the Venge. It'll cost him their Witch Doctor as there's a TP in. Now Screen, Silence taking a lot of tower shots. ZXC wants to help him, but only so much he can do. Has some wand charges and a bottle, but Screen will be able to make it out. He's just too damn fast when it's nighttime, and they have no way to close the gap.
Yeah, we'll get out of there, so... Another good trade for the most part for Moscow 5. I guess it's a 1-for-1 on supports, but it's Morphling getting kills. And
yeah, Ember also got the kill on Witch Doctors. That one was a pretty even trade, I think.
Yeah. Mid lane Necroman still doing decently against his Steph. They're even on kills here, on CS here, so it's just the kill that Necroman has that's giving him a bit of an edge. And Milan.
But at least stopping the Shadow Fiend from getting out of control. Milan definitely earned some respect in this tournament with that Lesh and some of the other crazy heroes he's brought mid. And, you know, breaking even with him keeps him in check and gives Moscow 5 a nice little edge. Still holding on to a small gold lead, but like you pointed out, the farm from Axe in particular tipping the scales. And he will not rush the Blink Dagger, but instead rushing into...
Necroman at mid gets the free bottle refill from the TPing. And Night Stalker. And Night Stalker maybe looking to make a move here. Can go for a solo smoke. Look to potentially loop around. Milan's gone missing because he wants these runes, and that's where Screen says, oh, a haste rune. This is a nice little present for my Troll Warlord.
Yeah, yummy. So Smoked Up will wrap around towards the top lane. Ember Spirit, level 5, 203, very standard build coming out of him as he starts to move towards drums, probably, with that Bracer. Night Stalker headed to the mid, gets a lane ward down, glancing at the Radiant Vision, sees the Venge there. And...
yes. Good to know what you're up against if you are going to go diving the tower. If the support's already there, versus if they're TPing in makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Dive this. The haste rune.
They go in onto Milan. The Whirling Axes connect. Now Night Stalker from the backside. Stun's been used. Now Lizard has no get out of jail free card. Whirling Axes fly through. PGG tanking it up and healing up his team. Now enough to finish him off. The Jukes! Not going to be enough to stay alive, but pulls Mitch into an awkward position. Maybe the Troll can get the kill there, and he can, but it's still 2 going the way of mYi. Shadow Fiend gets the Night Stalker, and Skywrath gets credit for the Witch Doctor as Lizard TPs in once more.
Night Stalker was free. He just wanted to go back in and got a bit too greedy. That top lane, Morphling! The triple fire him, not going to be enough damage, and he's got a waveform soon. So Cole, we pressured back. Flame Guard wears off, and he's in a lot of trouble, so...
Yep. Okay.
Free bottle refill from the TP. This is something a lot of teams have just been... this is something which I feel has almost gone too far with these free bottle refills.
Yeah, and here we go. Bottom, they initiate on to GG. Slander hits him with the level 2 dual breath. A lot of DOTs here. Even the macro pyre utilized with the slow from Night Stalker. Not able to mitigate the damage. But on the mid lane, Milan bashed into oblivion by Necroman. Another solo kill for this Troll Warlord. The 2 cores of mYi going down simultaneously as Moscow 5 strike back across the map.
Yeah, the Axe Killer really big, especially when you want to slow down this guy's... it looks like he's going for the Vanguard before the Blink, which I think it's all right, depending on how the game's going. But just killing the Axe here when he was almost doubling the Jakiro on CS is a really big pick-off from Moscow 5. They made a lot of use out of this Night Stalker just during the first nighttime, something they didn't do in Game 1 with this pick.
Yeah, 1, 1, and 6 at 8 minutes. Yeah, that's a pretty big impact, I'd say. Wow. Let's get the graph again. Jumping up. Moscow 5 with about a 2,000 gold edge as ZXC gets a little more momentum in the top lane. Number 2 on net worth behind only that of the Troll. And out-farming this Ember Spirit by a good bit. 3.7 compared to the 2.3 on the net worth chart.
Top lane, they want this Ember Spirit. He's got Fire Remnant, so it's not really a kill they can easily get. If anything, PGG's in trouble. Has the Troll, though.
2 points in the Voodoo Restoration. Troll's invisible. They'll stun him up. The Fire Remnant's nearby. They could still pursue it, but they don't know where he went. Mitch TP's in, and Mitchy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not
into
weird.
A Bastion.
Ooh, sad story. Okay, so another one up for a Moscow 5, and even though they don't kill Cole, this is time he's not farming in lane, and the Morphling is. Only 24 last hits in 9 minutes on this Ember Spirit.
This offensive trialing's worked out well. Put a lot of pressure on him. It is an Ember Spirit, so it's not like... At this point, he's actually not their main carry. That's going to fall on the Shadow Fiend, and Axe is going to be their space kind of mid-game initiator to some extent. So I feel like it's not like he's going to be in that bad a position as far as farm goes, but it's more... Oh, bottom lane, GG. Oh. Getting chased down, Jakiro.
Yeah, misses the ice path, but still gets the tower kill, and I think Axe is still in a lot of trouble. Some TP's coming in. Jakiro now blocked in. Ring around the Rosie will be victorious for GG. Slander just to TP out, and he makes it. Nice heads-up play. This Jakiro, very farmed, though, gods. Level 8, 1,700 gold. Number 4 on net worth. Nipping the heels of that Shadow Fiend and actually out-farming the Axe now.
Yep.
He's closing in on that Yule Scepter.
This is problematic for mYinsanity. The Axe Blink is going to be pretty slow because I think he thought he could go for the greedier Vanguard first build, which allows you to really dominate your lane and then just come to fights later on, because he probably was like, oh, the other lanes are going well enough, but with a few solo kills on your SF, suddenly things not looking as good.
10-5 at the 10-minute mark. Moscow 5 in control of this Game 3 decider.
Dude, PGG on LAN. It's been a long time since I've seen PGG on LAN. If
presence as M5 group up in the mid.
Still very scary stage of the game for mYinsanity. They can't really defend towers against the Troll, who's just kind of too beefy, has the battle transfer team, and the Liquid Fire just makes this so easy to push. They don't have an initiator at all. The Ember Spirit with Fire Remnants is all they can do, but if he Fire Remnants in, he's got no escape, he's kind of squishy, he'll just instantly melt. So I feel all they can do is give up towers, go for denies, perhaps at best.
Yeah, and Shadow Fiend goes in, gets the last hit, nicely done by Milan. ZXC on the high ground there, ready to hop in, but not going to be necessary.
Bottom tower too. That's a huge gold boost for him, which is much needed because his Blink Dagger is looking like it's a essential pickup for mYinsanity. He's not going for the Vanguard just yet.
Yeah, I think this is the right call. They need somebody to set it up, and when you have a Shadow Fiend, just locking them in place for a series of raises can be enough to find a kill or at least get him into dunk range. And you have that burst damage, the fast blink is a little more appealing. Darkness used, screen goes in on Milan, drops the early rotation. Necroman comes flying in with axes. The mech is there. Milan actually not that scared, even though PGG coming around the other side. He's going to go a bit too deep. PGG taken out first as Axe gets a successful dunk. There's that movement speed. They close the gap on ZXC. He's silenced. Another dunk. It's a double kill for GG as he gives it to P.
That's huge. He's up suddenly 2.6k gold. That's his blink and some. He can get a blink. Probably wants a magic stick, magic wand as well for these fights because he is now going to be the hero. Him and Ember Spirit have to fight, have to get involved. Even the SF, who's kind of their main carry, will probably be looking to fight somewhat as well. He's got his mech, treads. He's he's in a good state with an Axe initiation. You mentioned it. Put in a couple of raises, and the damage output is pretty insane.
Yeah, as we've talked about several times with all these Axe picks, it's all about the momentum. You get that first dunk, your team gets the huge buff, and usually you'll find another, if not a third. You whiff that first dunk, or it somehow gets blocked. Things get tough. So now they'll smoke up, and with a little momentum under their belts, MYI ready to show off this Axe Blink Dagger that is still yet to be revealed, though M5 should be rather suspicious.
Yeah, after a fight like that. And they saw him just on the Ring of Health, not buying a Vanguard, so...
Yeah,
they'll be grouped up themselves, going for a smoke of their own, to see if they can find a hero that is actually alone. The mid lane Ember Spirit, the bottom lane SF, both looking like possible.
That's what I'm talking about. This is the kind of aggression I'm talking about here, God. Shadow Fiend, Morphling on opposite teams. Let's smoke and fight at 12 minutes. They bump into screen. GG in the front lines. Night Stalker will live for now, but now the Night Stalker joining, or the Ember Spirit joining the party. Axe goes down first. A great Macro Pyre, and PGG Cask for the win. It's a 3-0 now. Milan on the run. He'll use the mech, but it's too little, too late. A 4-0 for Moscow 5 as they come back once more. 14-7. The aggression is non-stop.
PGG casts are just insane. They're game winners. They win lanes, they win team fights. He can go walk into enemy teams alone and die all he wants because he always makes up for it later on. He'll find a big cask, he'll find a big death ward. That was huge. And they ran into the Axe. Axe didn't get a blink call off. They stopped the Axe blink, burst him down. He was stuck in the macro pyro as well. The Axe going down and the cast just doing... It was bouncing between like Venge to Skyra to the Axe, and Oh, what a big team fight. That was the kind of deciding early game moment of this game, and it's going to be Moscow 5 who have the edge going into the mid game.
Especially for Axe. His farm is not that bad, but if that Blink Dagger gets disabled before he can initiate, that's just a 2,200 gold sunk cost. He's squishy outside of that. Ring of Health, Stout Shield, yeah, not going to be keeping you alive for too long, especially against all this magic damage. Slander soon to be level 11 to get that next point in the Macro Pyre, and the Yule's Scepter is on the way. Is it actually complete? It sure is. Coming on the Courier, and now there's a great initiation tool on the side of Moscow 5. But mYi, why not smoke again here, gods? They're hungry for more blood. They want this Blink Dagger to work.
Yep, Jakiro, it's nighttime. It's a bit harder, but Jakiro.
All right, and there's the Mystic Flare, but Yule's to reset. Slander, he gets silenced. He misses the dunk. Oh, boy, if he got off an Ice Path there, there's a chance at doing a little ring around the rosy, maybe getting PGG over there for a Death Ward.
If he had teammates there, that would have been really bad. Without the movement speed from the dunk and everything being on cooldown, if there was just maybe 2 Moscow 5 heroes that had turned that one around, things could have got ugly, but it was like 4v1. So.
All right. PGG level 6 now, just glancing at the hero levels. Venge is the only one without the ultimate. We're going to see initiation here on the Night Stalker. Milan gets another one.
Triple raise him, and down he goes.
Now they go into PGG.
3.
Oh no, silenced, slowed down from the concussive. Whirling Axes fly through, but it makes no difference. Axe gets another one.
Ember Spirit in like this 15-minute stage. Ember Spirit with haste runes and DD runes and invis runes is just a menace.
So now things leveling out. It's still this crazy roller coaster of a gold graph as both teams continue to lay into each other. It is Moscow 5 still holding on to a small lead, but mYi looking to close that as soon as possible. They move into the Roche Pit, Presence of the Dark Lord, Wave of Terror. Yeah, they've got some minus armor here.
Yeah, and the response, Moscow 5 are making their move there, but Roshan already below half HP. They're going to be too late, it looks like.
It'll be a little bit close. Nope. Aegis will hit the deck. Who grabs it? It'll be the Shadow Fiend. Now how do they initiate this? Darkness used right away. And there's the Macro Pyre right onto Lizard. They'll probably lose their Vengeful Spirit. Milan as well. That'll be the Aegis of the Immortal. PGG with the Death Ward on the high ground again, even though he's on the low ground. Just dancing it up. They'll get another kill on Milan, it looks like. Yeah, they sure will. Meanwhile, on the other side, Screen locked in place. Mitch taking some damage, killed by the Morphling. It's a 3-0. They've already got the Aegis, and they're not done yet. They want GG, but he'll have his blink, and they won't be able to find it. Still, Moscow 5 with another successful team fight around the Roche Pit.
I think Axe had to, they either had to make a decision to fight or run. And Axe said, I'm running. The rest of his team said, well, we're stuck in the pit. We got to fight. Axe blinked like out of there to the near the tier 2 tower. Axe was on top of that cliff, but it was just the rest of his team was stuck. I think he had to go for a blink call on like a few heroes to try set up things for the SF, because SF was trapped. He couldn't get out of there. The PGG Death Ward needed someone like Axe with a blink call to deal with the Witch Doctor.
Do they look at high ground here? This feels very risky to me. It's a 5-on-5. They don't have a Death Ward. They don't have Darkness. They will back up. Okay. Just chipping. ZXC, though, he gets silenced. Axe comes out. They're ready to dunk him. He's got the mana once he uses the stick. But the swap, oh, GG. He's going to get GG'd himself, it looks like. Down he goes. Now Milan left behind, stunned up, and destroyed once more. It's a 2-0 as M5 try to make the retreat, pulled back in, and find even more kills.
There's no buybacks, too, so this is really tough. Possibly going to see this tier 3 tower taking some big damage here. Really nice fight. Then the Morphling getting off the Morph strength there was huge. There was no chance for Axe to get the dunk off. He was just morphing strength way faster than they were dealing out damage. And high ground now being poked at.
Yeah, well, here we go. Cole coming in, doing what damage he can with the Slight. Not even close to a Battle Fury, so Cleave not an issue. Glyph down for 45 seconds, and they've got at least 10 before these cores get back on the field. This is going to be an 18-minute Tier 3 tower. Lizard way too far forward. They'll cut his tail off. It'll regenerate, but it hurts. Now the Barracks exposed and taking damage. They still have the numbers advantage, but they want to be careful with the cores coming back up. Yep. Shadow Fiend and Axe ready to initiate if they can get in here. Cole silenced, hit by the Ice Path. Last time, this is going to be a rinse and repeat perhaps. GG comes out. ZXC, he's still at full health. Macro Pyre on top of the team. Witch Doctor finally goes down. Maybe mYi can finally repel and find some kills. They can't decide who to go for, though. Looks like Slander will be the target. He'll move into the tree line. Does he have a TP? He does not. So just trying to create space for his teammates to make it out. He'll go down. Meanwhile, Screen TP's out in the face of the Ember Spirit. M5 take a few casualties, but pretty minimal.
Big damage dealt there. Unfortunately, Jakiro didn't have mana from Macropyre and Ice Path. I think he was like, which one do I use? I can only use one. I'll go for the Macropyre and try to do some damage, but ultimately, I think either that or he miscalculated. They needed that Ice Path after the Yules on the Axe, which unfortunately just wasn't coming out.
So it's still M5 that get the gold gain out of that, though. More topsy-turvy action, but about 7,500 gold in their favor. Milan lacking on the Necromastery souls right now as Necroman scouts him out, hits him with the axes. Mech not going to save you from this as he gets bashed, battle trance, and everything else utilized to make it a solo kill again for the Necroman in the mid.
Sand and Yasha on Troll is just so brutal. It's so likely you get the Sanj proc, and then you combine that with bashes. This is just such an amazing item on the Troll.
So dirty. Now he's just going to get the lifesteal, probably move into the Vladimir's offering. He'll buff up the team a little bit. How's the Morphling doing? He's closing in on his Mantis style. No Lincolns here.
Pretty good for the push. And
good against the Skywrath silence also.
Yeah.
But up top, ZXC, he'll be silenced. Is this a
string.
dunk? He whiffs it again! Oh no, GG! He just keeps GGing himself here, gods. ZXC is hanging around a little too long.
He needs to morph. He's got nothing left to morph.
Oh no!
He was full stream.
Oh, what a...
He tried to be fancy. He's like, I'm going to turn around, make a replicate so I can TP home and come back in. But he's like, wait a second, that's all my HP. Like, you don't have endless agility to morph to string. There's a cap.
Yep. There's definitely a finite amount there. That one is a zero-sum game. So, okay. They get a kill on the Morphling. Much needed. Just a little misplay there. And that streak will give a little extra gold to Mitchie, who is going for the triple null tally build, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's all right. I guess you want to get a 4-star for some utility item at some point. But for now, just getting this early game stats is working. I mean, without that, probably not a dead Morphling.
Mm-hmm. So, Axe closing in on what looks to be a Blade Mail here to go with his Vanguard. So pretty tanky, ready to return some damage. And there was another... Oh, yeah, the Night Stalker. He went for a Vanguard also. So ready to just be that frontliner, charge in, and take a few shots.
He's going just kind of stack the auras. You get the Crimson Guard. Jakira's got the mech. There's not going to be a pipe anytime soon. And not really... I guess Naim you maybe want eventually for like the Shadow Fiend BKB ultimate. Speaking of Shadow Fiend, he desperately needs this BKB. He's been trying to work on it for such a long time, but he just keeps getting... killed by mostly the troll more than anything.
He also just keeps getting pulled into these fights that I don't think he really wants to take. 2, 6, and 5 at 20 minutes. Generally, Shadow Fiend, yeah, maybe he'll skirmish a little around a rune, but generally he just wants to farm up that initial round of core items before he gets too active. And here, just not having that option. I mean, look at Moscow 5, 21 minutes in. It's an exposed lane Rax, and that means we're going for it.
Yeah, I guess they see SF without a BKB, although he can TP home, sell his Wraithman, and he's there. So that's, I feel like, definitely the play. You want to have a BKB for this fight.
GG hiding over in the tree line. Almost gets scouted out. That would be a rough way to start this one off for mYi. They do have a glyph here. Swap onto Necroman. Pulls him right into the front lines, but he just whirls his axes and says, yeah, you want to man up on me? I'm okay with that. Venge obviously dies.
That's some game 3 jitters right there.
That was YOLO. Oh, here we go. Mitch. Hit by the cask as well as the Death Ward. Gets interrupted pretty quickly, but mYi taking a lot of damage here. Mitch will go down first. Milan and Cole on the retreat. Buyback instantly from the Skywrath, and off to the side. It looks like, nope, Axe.
They just want to finish the
goes
melee
in on
rack.
the screen.
They get the melee racks. It doesn't matter if they lose a couple heroes.
ZXC going back in to try and clean it up. Gets the kill on the Skywrath. Milan very low, but will live as he gets back towards the well. Now they go in onto Cole. He uses the Slight. They get ready for it. They trap him in the Yules, but Axe comes back in. Another dunk on the Jakiro. The barracks go down. ZXC taking a lot of damage. Waveforms away. Necroman trying to man up. Gets stunned by the Venge. More whirling axes, but can't live to tell the tale. A good cleanup from mYi, but can't really call it a hold. Yeah.
That was... M5 could have just got the racks. They lost maybe 2 heroes there, and then they lost 2 more, which were completely unnecessary after getting that. It was a buyback just from a Skywrath Mage, but at the end of the day, you've got a late-game Morphling Troll and like a support Night Stalker who can transition to a core. Like, your late game's looking pretty good if you're Moscow 5, so even with that fight not going as well as you would have hoped for, you're still loving that you're up at lane Rax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like a 1,200 net worth gain for mYi, even with the buyback they had to utilize there on the Skywrath Mage. Would have been a little more painful had the Shadow Fiend died, but he actually does get his BKB, and with some of that rubber band gold, 1,600 sitting in savings. So at least they'll have 10 seconds of Magic Community on Nevermore here in the next fight.
Yeah, and the main issue is it's still like good damage to go through it. You've got the Death Ward, you've got the Troll. Morphling as well is going to be going... Picks up another Ultimate Orb, so probably like a Skadi for him. And...
All right.
Oh, this is going to be a tough
Actually,
game.
it looks like Troll's going BKB probably.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of magic damage out from the Shadow Fiend, and the Skywrath we've seen a few times do what he can do.
Mm-hmm. Jakiro going probably BKB as well. I guess possibly could be a Halberd, but hanging on to that Ogre Club. And now it's Night Stalker. He'll just go into a pipe. He's got the cloak, so it helps tank him up for now. Uh-oh. We got a little smoke-on-smoke action here, gods.
Okay.
He's going to bump into 2. This is Radiant Vision. PGG. He sees it. He reveals it. PGG the hero, but now he gets initiated on. That'll be the first dunk. Well, it doesn't even go for the dunk. His axe gets silenced. But still, it's a 4-on-5 as mYi are the aggressors. Screen uses the darkness. And Macro Pyre to try to do a little damage and stop their Blink Dagger. Slander gets left behind. Ice Path connects on Mitch. And they'll actually reinitiate this, even though they've lost to Jakiro. It's a 2-0. Milan channels the Requiem. Doesn't do a hell of a lot, but ZXC, waveform over the tree line, morphing as much strength as he can. Berserker's Call will connect. ZXC should get dunked. He whiffs it again. Oh my gosh, he just can't dunk this Morphling to save his life.
It's hard.
It's a tough dunk.
Hard. It's when he's morphing strength, it's a bit tricky, but
we're like 0 for 3 now.
Yeah.
But look at this, mYi striking back. That's about a 3,000 net worth gain, not even including this tower they're about to get. They're coming on back.
Their late game is also not too shabby. You got the Axe, who's looking really fun. Milan's got 3.5k gold after BKB. Your Ember Spirit's got money for a Battle Fury in a second here. So this is still not over yet. Despite the racks being taken, 23-man sin, you wouldn't expect it. But M5, they're the ones sneaking into Roshan with the very fast Roshan respawn. This was like a 15-second Roshan respawn after the earliest possible time. And mYi with no vision to scout this.
Yeah, looking at Dire here, they see nothing. They've only got 2 wards down, these lane wards here in mid and bottom. And unfortunately for them, that will mean M5 get an uncontested Rosh. Very easy with the Troll and that Battle Trance. And they will probably be giving the Aegis to him once more.
Yeah, he drops it. He gives his Ring of Aquila to the Night Stalker. So it's good to go, and I don't think M5 will be too keen to take a big on team fight after just giving a ton of gold away, but with Aegis in hand, that kind of changes things a little bit. They really want these BKBs. I feel like even Morphling with a BKB may have been a better way to go, but Jakira's picked up an Ogre Club. He recognized the importance of BKB against the nuke damage that is coming out. Just the Axe Call, and a bit of SF doesn't really go for these high physical damage builds anymore. It's always about this like mech, BKB, you see Skadis, and for now, seeing on 4k gold, we'll see where he looks ahead.
Yeah, Jakiro invisible, standing next to a sentry ward, gets jumped on. There's a dunk for GG. Great way for mYi to start this fight, and now Screen. He gets initiated on, stunned up by the magic missile. They drop the hammer on his face, and it's a fast 2-0. As again, the Dire side take a fast advantage.
Whew. Just fight after fight, mYinsanity seem to have figured out Moscow 5 to some extent here.
They are clawing their way back, and they've actually taken the gold lead. Experience still... Oh, wow, way in their favor. Oh, my, okay. It took me a second. I was like, wow, they're really far ahead now. mYi is doing it. That's a Battle Fury up on Cole, and this will be another Tier 1 tower taken out, the last of the outer towers for Moscow 5. Say goodnight to your access points towards the Roche pit.
Just makes the mistake of trying to force the issue too much just because they have an Aegis, when realistically they need BKBs. I guess Jakiro, BKB or not, dies there in an Axe Call, but they need BKBs because Troll sees his teammate get cold and he's like, well, you're dead. We're fighting 4v5. If I go in, I get locked down by a Venge Stun. Like, there's Skywrath nukes. There's just too much nuke damage to deal with. So, for Troll's point of view, even with an Aegis, he doesn't want to go in. Not without a BKB. With a BKB, he can look to actually go in and try to take that 4v5 fight once Jakiro's tanked all of the spells.
Well, I guess the good news for Necroman is he's very close. After this hard camp here, he'll have just enough gold to get the recipe. And now we see M5. They want to be aggressive again. We see on the minimap, drawn out by some... Actually, I'm colorblind here. I don't know who drew that. But either way, they're going to invade the Dire jungle.
They've got good vision, so they figure like that. It's always a good place to target points on the map where you can see a lot here. They also see the Dire Observer, I believe.
It looks like it. Yeah, they've got the sentry down, so they'll get a little vision control here.
Lost it.
Oh, no!
Re-sentry?
And he says, screw it.
Not worth.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
What do you need the sentry for? There's no Invis heroes on the Dire side.
No, exactly. I love it. He's like, all right, I know there's a ward here. Oh, my sentry expired. Is it really worth it? We know the ward's there. I guess that's what's important. And he'll save it for another day. I mean, it's not a bad idea. As we've talked about, knowing where the ward is almost as important as killing it, because then you can play around it. So it's not that ridiculous. It's just, I feel like most players would have just put the sentry down, and here you go. Now we'll go for it.
Especially when you're pushing and like you're still here on this ramp. It gives your opponents too much vision.
Oh, boy, it just never stops. Necroman in the front lines. Whoa, a lot of damage coming his way. He's got the Aegis, so it wouldn't have been the end of the world if he fell, but mYi just showing how much burst damage they can put out if they're not careful.
Milan with an AC is looking really tanky against the physical damage and giving the minus armor aura on top with the Venge Wave, with his presence of the Dark Lord. There is a lot of minus armor here.
Look at ZXC. He goes to the Ultimate Orb and says, I think I need BKB, guys. Goes back for the Ogre Club, and I think it's the right call. Yeah, they really need the BKBs here. mYi, this is the hold they need to make. Necroman blown up. That'll be the end of the Aegis. Had about a minute and a half left on it.
Want round 2? They're going to swap him in?
Swap,
Well,
BKB. Still, GG, he actually leaves the base, hops forward. Necroman takes a lot of damage as he returns some screen, hit by the Requiem. They'll be able to bring him down. Another great hold for mYi. Bottom lane of creeps are pushing into the base, but they are taking a huge victory here. PGG cleaved down by the Ember Spirit, and now the rest of M5 on the run. Looks like ZXC trying to stick around best he can. Now morphing some strength, pops the Manta. They'll even lose their Jakiro. Now hit by the Searing Chains. He's silenced. He's going to be brought down. It's a 4-0 as mYinsanity live up to their name and take an insane fight outside of their base.
Yeah, and the damage done in their base was pretty minimal here. Tier 4 tower down to half HP. They'll easily take that for that massive exchange there. Losing nothing, taking 4 kills. Aegis even on the Radiant side being amounting to nothing. The physical damage is just adding up. And SF, the AC, was a fantastic pickup, it turns out, with minus, 17 armor across the board with the AC, the presence, and the Wave of Terror. That's amplifying the Ember Spirit Sleight of Fist, the SF right clicks, the counter helix.
It's minus 11 on the Shadow Fiend alone, so that's just the constant aura, then Venge. Yeah, not going to hit everybody with the wave, but yeah, that is ridiculous. It doesn't buff up the cleave damage on Battle Fury, maybe worth reiterating. It's that special damage type, but still buffs up that physical damage from the regular slight attacks by a hell of a lot.
I guess effectively it's buffing up the cleave damage by doing more damage to your actual main target, though.
Yeah, that's okay. That's true. And also Axe. That's the other one. You can't forget about that counter helix, man. That minus armor buffs
Axe
him
now
up.
picks up an Ag Scepter. They're just going to get items galore off of these fights.
And looking at the graph, it's still mYi with that lead. Not a huge gold lead, but they've just got the momentum. It's fight after fight going their way.
So I think M5 are going to be like, let's go to plan B, which is maybe just look to farm for the late game, get Morphling back in the kind of top farmers. He's like their kind of main late gamer next to the Troll, but they feel like they need like an AC of their own almost to counteract the minus armor. Either that or like a Shiver's Guard, but they've got no Shiver's Guard heroes, so for Troll he's probably going to be like AC as his next item perhaps. Witch Doctor's not anywhere near like an Ag Scepter, and he thought PGG's had a pretty rough game as far as the feeds and the deaths go.
I feel like it would be great if the Night Stalker could get it, but that's just never going to happen. And you know, the Morphling, he's got other items he's got to prioritize. Scotty, BKB, I think, take precedent. It's got to be the Troll, and probably not the item that he had in mind when he picked this hero.
This was M5's game. They had such a big lead. They had the Rax advantage. They could have almost sat back and farmed, but in Moscow 5 PGG fashion, they got a bit too aggressive and gave away what was once a lead. It feels like they're behind now, despite being up a lane of Rax.
Yeah. Well, another smoke from M5. The unrelenting pressure. They'll go into the bottom lane. This will catch them off guard. The lane of Barracks is already down. It's not the lane you'd expect them to push, Gods.
And Milan needs to be fast on the BKB.
This is Radiant Vision. They see him coming. They go right in. Silenced. Ice Path. The swap back from Lizard, but the Death Ward's already down. Lizard will die. No, the Met keeps him up. Now Milan channels a Requiem. Jakiro dies off on the backside as GG mans up. Almost falls himself. Now ZXC goes in. A lot of damage. Stun from Lizard. Juked. Oh, boy. Now it's the fight for M5. A buyback now used on the Axe. Milan isolated off to the side. BKB down. No mech. They should be able to find the kill on the Shadow Fiend, but GG comes in. Dunk 1, dunk 2. Night Stalker and Troll Warlord in the grave. ZXC finds another kill on the Skywrath Mage, but PGG will be dunk 3. Can they interrupt the TP? The chains are there. This could be an ultra kill for Cole. Oh my gosh. David Parker, the buyback from Axe, worth it completely. GG did not hesitate, and boy, do they feel the benefits.
Golly gee willikers, that was not the fight you're looking for.
Well,
that was just... It started good for Moscow 5. Like, they made some really nice plays. The Manta dodge and the Magic Missile looked like Morphling was coming up big. And then SF, that dying Requiem of Souls, as Axe hit the 2-hero call, dunking both those heroes thanks to the SF damage there. That was just insane. That was Axe. That was the start for the Axe, and then he finds another 2 with ease. They just, I don't know. The BKBs, once they've worn off, Troll just couldn't really man up as much as he would have liked to.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend was just such a smart idea to move into the tree line and force them to get up in his face so that Requiem before he died did pretty close to max damage to both those heroes.
Troll would love to kill the SF from like 600 range using his ranged attacks, but wasn't possible.
SF not making it easy for him. So mYi, they don't get the gold gain out of that. It's about a break even with the buyback they had to use, but again, they make the hold. And it's also M5 were the aggressors. That's the other thing for mYi. They haven't even chosen to be aggressive and take these fights yet. This has just been M5 time and time again trying to seal the deal and just getting smacked down.
M5 still just going to say, look, we're up a lane of Raxus. Anything can happen. Like, looking kind of objectively these lineups in the late game, I'd say mYinsanity have the slightly better team. They've got a lot more minus armor, the physical damage, the Ember Spirit in the late game scenario, but Troll Morphling, not too shabby at all. Witch Doctor, if he had some more farm, I'd be looking at it as a pretty big late game threat, but his Ag Scepter is just, I don't see it happening in this game. Unless we're looking at 50, 60 minutes, PGG unlikely to farm it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those, if M5 win fights, maybe he can get the gold, but if they win a few team fights, they're going straight for the base. So this game, either way, probably, yeah, I don't know about that Aghanims. Crimson Guard out on the Axe, okay.
Now Roshan's respawned, so...
It
has been scattered by mYinsanity. I'm not sure how aware M5 were as to whether there's a quick Roshan, but they've got a replicate going right there to check it out. So,
all right, this could be the big fight. Roche 3, the Gouda, ready to come out onto the field. I don't know that this Roche will necessarily be the nail in the coffin, but this is the big momentous piece that M5, I think, absolutely need if they want a chance at trying to seal the deal here in the next 5 minutes.
Observer Ward gets immediately dewarded above the Roshan pit, which was a freshly placed one, and Radiant Vision somewhat limited, although they do have a nice ward near the Ancient Pit there. That's going to help them out quite a bit if M5 tried to walk into the Roshan Pit through the river.
Scouting with the Replicate, they caught vision of just the Vengeful Spirit, so still rather blind, and M5 will actually back off. Not too interested in a stalemate around the pit for now.
They have so much farm to catch up on it. At the same time, mYinsanity do not want to get caught out in the pit when someone like Axe doesn't have a buyback, but they see heroes top. Most notably the Troll, who takes a long time to get to the Roshan pit from top lane.
Oh, look at this ward from Dire. They know exactly where they are, how quickly they're moving over. They feel very safe doing this with that little bit of vision.
Daytime as well.
And it'll be an uncontested Roche. Aegis and Cheese go to the Dire. Axe gets the Aegis. Cheese goes to the Shadow Fiend. Oh, wow.
Is it time for aggression out of mYinsanity? Possibly for the first time in this entire 36 minutes of duration, we may see mYinsanity make a move down one of these lanes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, glancing at the graph once more. Still a small gold lead. The experience, maybe the bigger factor here as we glance at the level chart. Yeah, big jump across the cores. Morphling, he has his BKB now. Ultimate Orb, the beginnings of that Scotty. Still not much progression on that item, but at least a BKB will make things easier for him. I think that is his 10-second BKB. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a fight yet. Jakiro moving into his, still pretty far away. And where does that leave us with Mr. Necroman? BKB and, yeah, just 2,600 gold. So pulling it up. We'll see if he ends up going for that AC or not.
Probably just holds on for buybacks to some extent, realizing the very kind of type position they're in. One mistake and they're going to be looking at a push down the mid lane with Aegis and Cheese and the MYI side.
Mm-hmm. Now a crit up on the Ember Spirit. He's got the Crystallis and 2,400 gold. So Daedalus not that far away. And this is where the Ember Spirit starts to get a little more scary. He was very underfarmed for most of this game, and after these successful team fights, he's back with a vengeance and one of the better carries in terms of scaling with items.
So for M5, contented to sit back, and I think with good reason. They no chance of fighting into an Aegis Cheese. No, even without those items, we've seen teamfight after teamfight not succeed.
Mm-hmm. It's
going to be mYinsanity who make the move, and with a few heroes smoked up, SF not one of them, but there is zero Radiant Vision all of a sudden.
They have absolutely no wards down right now.
The gem from the Venge from Lizard has served its purpose and denied.
This is the safe zone right here between the tier 2 and the tier 3 mid, or at least what they think is the safe zone.
They don't even want to be out like in front of by that tier 2 because an Axe Blink Call could just set things up in a really bad way.
Yeah, another pause here. It's like Jakiro having some sort of a quick issue. All right, just a short one. All right.
Well, normally Game 3 has been the PGG Moscow 5 special. They've been so good in these Game 3s in the semifinals, the quarterfinals. But
definitely been their quick games for sure, where they just get that momentum and don't give it up. But this one, just look at the graph, and I feel like it really tells this story well. It's just like we started so high, and oh, how we've fallen. Yep. It's been a good, 15,000 net worth swing across this game.
DD Ember Spirit will lead the charge to the bottom tier 2 tower, and this is just not a tower M5 have any interest in defending.
No, definitely not. Double damage Ember Spirit, very scary at this stage of the game. The Rune of Many Winds, as it's called. So, it looks like PGG and Screen having some connection issues here. Bad time to have that internet go out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully nothing that'll affect too much more as this game goes on, but right now they're just looking to farm and sit back, not try and take any kind of crazy fights.
Mm-hmm.
And for Moscow 5, there's going to be a lot of pressure on this Morphing to pick up another big item or two fairly soon.
Yeah, this axe.
Oh, that was funny.
That was really funny. You've got You've got Funnick playing Audio Surfer to warm up, Dendi playing Osu, and then on the other side, you just got Havost looking at Lina Arcanas and just deciding which cosmetics he wants to use. You know?
Really, PGG has some Witch Doctor cosmetics. The amount he plays his hero. All right, he's got a few.
A few, but they're not really like... all right, I'm getting Skywrath.
Oh, I was about to say, I got the same. I'm like, wait, hold on.
All right.
It doesn't...
Things are run amok here. Maybe the pause is... Use the old router.
Yep. All right, on you, buddy.
All right.
And as far as this game goes, despite the Rack's advantage, this is looking like a very dire-sided position to be in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Again, just looking at the graph, it tells a very sad and a very true story for Moscow 5 fans out there. But mYi stepping it up. They've been looking good. Game 1, it seemed they really had Moscow 5.
Did look like this was a series we're going to see like a mYinsanity kind of 2-0 one-sided affair, but
based
Moscow
on
5
game 1, yeah.
They always got fight left in them, and even this game, it looked like it'd be Moscow 5 who should be the team with the edge, but no longer the case.
Deny after deny as they move towards that tire base. Now the Swagger Fiend, man, he is getting big. He's got another 4,000 gold. It seems like just a few moments ago he picked up that Assault Kuros. Top of the net worth chart about 3,500 ahead of the Troll.
Yeah.
Ooh, hot dog.
It's pretty scary, this SF. And I mean, it's not just SF, the Axe, the Ember Spirit. All 3 cores are looking
look at
really
that
beefy.
Face. Stupid bird. All right. I hate the way they changed his face, man. They beefed him. Not into it. All right. So where were we? Double damage on Cole as mYinsanity pressure the bottom tier 2. And it looks like it will not be defended. They still have Aegis and Cheese. Pretty long duration on the Aegis. It's at about 2.5 minutes.
They want to go high ground, or at least attempt it.
All right, a lot of buybacks available here. The the Night Stalker and the Witch Doctor, the 2 without it.
Crimson Guard and everything. They still got the DD room for a little bit longer. The Glyph will be used.
Okay, and now mYi back out a little, trying to figure out the best way to initiate this. Maldex hits the Axe.
The coconuts are still bouncing.
Oh my, not even into the creeps, still hitting heroes. PGG. All right, GG survives the curse. Very low, but he's the Aegis carrier, so Axe will be okay.
You can even pass them the cheese just to heal up. It looks like they're going to use the bottle.
They'll give him some bottle charges. He's got the Tranquil Boots.
Ember Spirit's going to push
Okay,
out
he pushes back
top.
top. Yeah, has the Remnant down, so he can just hop right back to it.
Still a minute and a half left on the Aegis, so still got some duration left to keep pressuring the high ground. And they want to even things up as far as Rack's advantage goes.
Yeah, most definitely.
The hardest lane to push because there is the super melee creeps in this, super creeps in general in this bottom lane.
Yeah. A little bit beefier, that's for sure. Minus 11 armor, though, definitely squishes him up a bit.
Even the Venge Medallion coming into play. Although for now they're just using it kind of defensively on the line, which I think is perfectly fine. If he's on in the front line sieging, keep up with that armor.
Okay, so 1 minute, about 10 seconds on this Aegis of the Immortal. This is the push that mYi want to try to make it happen, but Jakiro able to just clear out the creep wave so fast. Remember, the Glyph has been used, so mYi can just slow siege the structure at this point and feel pretty safe about it. Axe just dunking the creep wave, gets his team the buff. He has the Aghanim, so it'll be back up in about a second. Pretty smart play. Being very cautious with the Aegis, though.
That Axe buff is just so good to have in team fights, and that's where the Axe Scepter, fantastic pickup. They'll just keep on doing the same rinse-repeat strategy, but Aegis about to expire, 30 seconds. They've got to go soon if they want to commit to this Rax.
Gotta go right now. GG goes in. Call onto ZXC, but he gets stuck in the Yules right away. Screen tries to run in, but just dunked straight away. The first death of the fight, no buyback on him. It will be a 5v4. Death Ward canceled as the swap used on PGG. He'll survive, but he won't do much damage. Tier 3 tower goes down. Necroman tries to man up. It's a dunk for the kill. Now ZXC dunked again. This Axe is a madman. Aegis will probably expire, but doesn't matter. Double buyback on the cores. Morphling and Troll Warlord right back in the fray. Axe backs out, gets the regeneration rune, ready to reinitiate. The Sleight of Fist flying through, a lot of damage onto Slander. Barracks exposed. In comes Axe. There's the call. Whiffs the dunk, but doesn't matter. I say nay. A triple for Cole. Now the buyback on the Jakiro. Bottom lane of Barracks cleared up, and it'll be mYi coming out ahead.
Possibly not done here as well.
Uh-oh. Slander now stuck in the Yules. Cole, yeah, he's just going to slap him. Ooh, misses the dunk again. Bricks it, but still an ultra kill for Cole. Another swap. Necroman locked down. It's a dieback for him. Only 2 left alive for M5, and still all 5 for mYi. Milan, even with mech and cheese, they say, fuck the barracks, let's go straight for the towers.
Uh-oh, and ZXC silenced and brought down. He's got no buyback. Oh, dear. It looks like mYinsanity may be your champions here in the second Esportal qualifier.
I'm going to go ahead and correct you there. It's going to be definitely as they clear out these Tier 4 towers. Night Stalker and Witch Doctor, what are you going to do? PGG's got a Death Ward. He's going to use it. Do it, PGG. That's you.
Dance.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah. All right.
Go.
All right. Dunking the creeps. Are they really backing out here?
Oh, they've only got... I mean,
they need
even
creeps.
things
They're
up.
out of creeps. Oh, my God.
Whoopsie daisy. 40 seconds on Morphling, 40 on Troll. That's the 2 big carries. Axe just, doing his thing on the high ground here.
All right. Well, they're going to go back in, dunking the creep wave again to get the little movement speed buff, and now they press forward. Still 30 seconds on the cores. Pretty sure they can just go for the win still. I said that with confidence, and now... Chains on 2.
The cast, the PGG cast.
Uh-oh,
here
here
there's
it
only
is.
heroes around this time, and...
Throne exposed. PGG without the Death Ward. Wishing he had it right now. Yeah, that's going to be it. Jakiro comes back up. 10 seconds on the course. Thrown at about half health. mYi committed for the win. They're in it to win it, but GG getting pretty low. Bricks another dunk. He's finally out of mana, but it doesn't matter. GG, well played, is called as the throne goes down, and it will be mYinsanity joining the Hellraisers and Team Empire in the finals.
Oh, boy. What a final sand things up on here. That was
Yeah.
some fun, spicy Dota 2 action.
Action.